to see you. Hello. I haven't seen you in a while. $5 million. For $5 million, this could be yours. That was the first of the cards. See that? You know what that card is?
Gold card.
It's the gold card. The trump card, gold card.
Who's the first buyer?
Me. I'm the first. I don't know, but I'm the first buyer. It'll be out in about less than 2 weeks, probably. Pretty exciting, right?
Ready for some questions?
Anybody want to buy one? Okay, let's go.
All right, so if you don't understand what happened there, let's take a moment. The card he shows, if I can get a good angle on it, this card, this is, God, it's hard to get a good angle. This is the White House's official video. So high quality, as you can tell. This card with Donald Trump's face on it is $5 million. And you buy this as a path to citizenship in America. Now, I'm going to be honest, while he's explaining it here, I'm not sure he knows what it's for. I think he thinks it's like a baseball card, to be honest. Everything he says here, he has no outward statement that makes sense when you consider that this is supposed to be for citizenship. He's talking to American citizen journalists right now if they're going to buy the card, that he's already bought one. Obviously, I think he's thinking of this like he does his NFT nonsense. I don't think he remembers. Now, after this, he talks about manufacturing, and I don't really want to show that because there's more where he gives a time frame, but we'll get to that when we get there. But specifically, he talks about how they're going to start doing pharmaceuticals as well. So your medicine is going to get more expensive, and he talks about tariffs, and he says,
what we have is we have a set of tariffs based on what they've been charging us. That's reciprocal. And those tariffs have come in and every country's called us. That's the beauty of what we do.
Every country getting tariffs have not called them because literally he put a tariff on an uninhabited island of penguins. And these tariffs also aren't based on what they're charging the US. It is based on a trade deficit. It has nothing to do with the tariffs the US is being charged. In fact, if you are to go and look up tariffs, average tariffs for industrialized nations, Trump is setting the US up so much higher. This is going to be absolutely crazy when it comes to the pricing of items, but also it makes it cost prohibitive to build new facilities in America because the raw materials to build these facilities now cost more as well. And some companies have talked about working on building manufacturing in America that they were already going to do. These plants are going to be almost 100% automated because you have to due to American costs for employees. But let's take a listen to, I believe this is a good one.
Like really big plants.
How long will it take to get American manufacturing to where you would like to see it?
Well, let's say it's a 2-year process. You know, they start a plant and they're big plants. We're giving them approval to also, in many cases, to build the electric facility with it. So you have electric generation and the plant, and they're big plants. Now, the good news is a lot of money for them, and they can build them fast, but they're still very big plants. So I'd always say it would take a year and a half to 2 years.
Mr. President, I'm curious.
They've already started some of them.
So this is where things get kind of funny, because it does not take just a year and a half to 2 years to build a power plant and to also build an entire manufacturing plant and get the trade routes and all the raw materials to then produce the goods and everything. It's not getting done in that short amount of time. He might know a couple plants that are, as he said, they're already being built. That would mean they were being built under Biden, right? They weren't planned and started being built in the last couple months. So he's going to try to take credit for some plants that are going to be built in a couple years. But the issue is that means that Americans, in their hypothetical scenario, these manufacturing jobs coming to America are going to lower prices, which they won't, to be clear. But in the hypothetical scenario that they do, this isn't hitting till a year and a half, 2 years, which means the impact of those lowered prices is, again, going to take even longer. This is scaring Republicans. How much? Well, the Senate successfully voted to undo Trump's Canadian tariffs. And a lot of Republicans, multiple Republicans, have come forward and said that these tariff ideas Trump are doing are wrong. And there could be a world where what happens is they actually take back the tariff power from Trump and give it back to Congress where it was originally at. Now, will that happen? It's going to depend, right? Is it worth buddying up to Trump if you're going to lose your race in 2 years on the midterms? That is going to become really big. And I don't know about you, but I have had friends contact me who think they are going to possibly lose their jobs over these tariffs. But let's continue. Let's do another part here. It's a decently long video. And I'm sorry about the angle. This is the official White House video.
So you got to give that a little time. I haven't checked my 401k. Thank you very much.
Sir.
Hasn't checked his 401k. It's probably good.
One question on the Fed. A lot of money markets are now pricing in more Fed cuts this year.
Well, one thing I like is interest rates going down. I see that happening. And interest,
yield,
you know
like
what's beautiful
4%.
is interest rates go down. I like groceries going down. I like eggs going down. If you look at it, and very importantly, the gasoline prices are going down. So a lot of good things are happening. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the prices aren't really going down. I mean, that's just not what's happening. You can check that yourself. Go drive to the store, check your local gas prices, check your egg prices, and check your grocery prices. At least for me, they haven't gone down. In fact, I saw some prices go up yesterday. That, I'm going to be honest, probably unrelated, but I don't expect them to go down with the new tariffs, especially because so much of our groceries is now going to be tariffed. And unless they get exemptions, it's going to be bad. And that's a new thing that's being talked about, are exemptions. Will American companies get exemptions to try to combat this scenario? And that's something we need to remember. You need to watch for that in the news because, for example, let's say a U.S. car manufacturer gets all of their imports exempted from these tariffs. That would mean that they could keep their prices lower and artificially have a lower price because everyone else is paying more. Essentially, being the president's darling, sucking up to Trump would be a way to keep your business going. And it would be very interesting if that starts being used as a way to reward people who benefit Donald Trump. If we start seeing different businesses show up at the White House and then have their tariffs removed. And of course, the last time Trump tried tariffs, what happened there? Well, the last time he tried tariffs, he ended up having to do massive subsidies to farmers after they started ending their own lives because of how badly it was going. Which just means that we are taking the tariffs, the Americans are paying more, and then the money they're paying more is then being sent to some farmers as money to try to make up for the fact that Americans are paying more so they can't buy more. And these tariffs, he talks about, as I mentioned, reciprocal. Check my previous video if you haven't. These aren't reciprocal tariffs. These are tariffs based on trade deficits, which are not what you base tariffs on. And there's no reason to base tariffs on that. But AI will tell you to base a tariff on that because AI doesn't understand anything. We are tariffing a uninhabited island of penguins. So in this interview, I don't remember if I showed it. There's a couple takes I've done of this. I don't know if I've showed it in this video, but he does say that people have started contacting him about removing tariffs. That would include, for example, I guess he says all of them are contacting him. I guess the penguins are calling. But what's also important to remember is that because he lies about these tariff numbers, Vietnam, I looked at like their average tariff. I think they are the highest average tariff in like the industrialized world from the chart I was looking at last night. So the numbers are going to be off. It was like 7% or something like that for a tariff. So if they remove that tariff, Trump's going to call it a win. But you have to remember, he just told his supporters that they had a tariff that was something like 90% on America, which isn't true. The White House tariff numbers are false. And again, I'm going to push my own video. Check it out. You can see for yourself, not just me saying it, but the government's official page linking you how to do the math shows that it's a lie. Now, did the person who posted it know it was a lie? Or does the president understand it's a lie? I don't know where the understanding is, but it's not what they claim. They might all know it's a lie. But yeah, the tariffs are wrecking the stock market, if you haven't seen. Honestly, I wasn't going to do another video on it, but when the president holds up basically a gold Pokemon card of himself and starts asking people if they're going to buy it, how do I not talk about it? How do I not do that?